All right, what's up, everybody? Third Eye Cam back. Today's date, March 25th, 2023, and the time is 16:55. So I took a nap after I dropped my most latest video about the planet behind the sky and the crack in the sky, my reviews. So I woke up, kind of checked my iPad, and I was going back over the you all send me comments. I want to give a big shout out to Namaste, Namaste, for a question that I don't know if it's a he or she. I'm sorry. Had a question about planetoid wall behind the sun. All right, so the question from Namaste was, for many years, people have been saying that our time is up. What is going to happen, in your opinion, with a question mark? Was the Great Flood caused by this so-called planet X? If the planet is so close, would it not be causing a lot more than just a few earthquakes? Could it maybe be that those are cloaked ships of the Anunnaki? God bless. I really appreciate that question because, me waking up out my sleep, I don't constantly think about these planets. They really hit me when I look up in the sky, but I've kind of been on this all my life. I honestly, I was born in 74 to this, so they were on this whole Star Trek, Star Wars, Battle Galactica. By the time 2000 comes, we'll be living on the moon and on Mars. We're still on Earth. They're still struggling trying to get out and up. And the world has descended into chaos over resources, rumors of war, signs in the sky. Like literally the Bible is jumping off the page. And I have to keep that in mind because I've heard it as a child. And I've always equated it to anything on a spatial level. Like that's how advanced I was. Like that whole ALIEN deal, alien and aliens. Once I started reading the Sefer, which is the book that was written from the Dead Sea Scrolls before it was, watered down to the Bible, it made sense to me that ALIEN is really two vowels crossed up, spelled ELIAN, Elion. We're the Elions. The reason why I say that, it says the God that made this world's name is El. We know that the name El is the basic for electricity, EL, electric, elite. Anything with EL really resonates on a higher frequency, a higher thinking, a higher level, a higher intellect, what have you. And where else I was going with this? Even the name Hell, HELL, has the word EL with an extra L in it, some kind of light. So we know that the name L resonates to light. So my response back to Namaste, I like that name. This is my response to that question. And it's typed in under the video. I said, in my logical opinion, I think the world is about to change from one society's way of living to another's, to whatever those whom will live and be born into the future and in that lifetime. I think the great floods were caused by some kind of galactic and cosmic external anomalies, i.e. these planets. That's just me throwing in. And I said, look at California's current conditions at the time and melting of the poles to which they keep coining climate change, period. Okay, so before I go on any further, I'm just going to harp on that. Y'all, I used to live in California. Plenty enough. My children were born. Two were born in Hawaii. One was born in California. And my daughter's mom is from Oakland, California. So I got some good history in California. When I was 2 years old, I went to California for a year. While my dad was in the military, my mom went out there with my aunt, her older sister. My Social Security came from California when I was living in Sacramento. So I've always loved California, and I want to go back to live in California. So with that being said, California is, like, for me, my favorite state as far as the 50 states in America. So I'm always keeping up with California. Long before I was in California in 1976, I was 2 years old. I also was in California again from 2005 to 2011 during my military time. California's catching wreck right now with this weather because of that cyclone. And I keep saying that maybe I didn't harp on it before, but I said that the weather out in California is being caused by these planets passing from west to east, and they're whipping up that cyclone over out in the Pacific because the conditions are right with the water, uh, temperature. Temperatures do cause certain reactions in different parts of the world. I can't explain all of that because I'm not that scientific, but it makes sense to me since I've lived out there in California. The whole time I was out there, it only snowed one time, and I actually got it on video. And I'm looking for my recorder so I can digitize it. And I think I'm gonna go look for it today. Digitize it so that way I can show you all California, my time out there. That's another story. Okay, so let me get back to this answer. I said, make sure, yeah. I said, I think whomever of those that were in power did not really understand how the universe works fully at the times of their studying it, and then brought their findings to the general public. Rather, they filled in the empty spaces, as in what they couldn't understand or didn't know how to explain, with make believe and fairy tale. Star Trek, Star Wars, everything we've been told about space is not what's happening right now. Like the sun being in the center of the universe, and these planets keep bringing the sun in closer to the Earth when they pass behind the sun. Right? Right. I've already proved it. And now we're all about to witness the true power of how the universe truly works with front stage seats from the cosmic perspective of the above. That was on the, how the universe works and what we're dealing with right now. Now, we've heard many people talk about beings that live in the earth and entities that live in the earth. Not just myself. I don't have time for make believe. I really want to know what's going on with this world. Okay, so as far as the entities from the question, my answer was I think the beings / entities that keep showing up in the skies as far as the UFOs are concerned are the so-called underworld beings that live in the hollows of the earth and have more than likely been here long before the Bible was written. Pretty much what I said. And I said, those are just my thoughts based on what I've researched historically through the Bible, history. They talk about aliens, ALIENS, which I coined their ELIENS, our ancient ancestors. And I said, we're all seeing and witnessing in our time of living in the world since CV-19 when it really accelerated. Thank you for that very inquiring question. And that was for Namaste. Big up to Ancient Gardener. I appreciate you. Big up to Angela Frazier. I'm sorry, Angela. Adam Weird World. That's my dude. I like Adam. Big up to Alfonso Thomas. And big up to Dave Waffles. Dave out of UK, Planet X Hunter. He honestly has been sharing a lot of my videos. I can thank him honestly, and y'all should thank him. And I hope he hears me. I really thank him for the way he brought his videos. I wanted to do exactly what I saw him doing. He beat me to it. But at the time, the way I'm talking now, I wasn't that comfortable prior to me making the Third Eye Cam page. And it took me all of a week to come up with the Third Eye Cam. Actually, less than that. Probably like 3 or 4 days to come up with the Third Eye Cam page or name. And then the logos kind of just came in, and then everything just started falling together. This is not a self-me gratification video because I'm not all about that. My high time in the world was being a United States Marine. So now that I'm back to first Civ Div, and all my Marines know what that means. First Civilian Division, that's i.e. all y'all that never went to the military. I'm just kind of chilling and enjoying life, with my ups and downs. And, these anomalies that are happening in the sky are fascinating and unreal. but they are very much so real. And I'm very blessed to have been able to be born to witness them at the time. I don't know what the end result is going to be. I don't know how destructive it's going to be. I don't know how anything's going to turn out in the future, but I have some kind of idea. There will be a destruction point. There will be a rebuilding. And the people that are having the hardest time with this are the powers that are at current right now. And as you can tell, they're at war with each other. Now, they'll probably try to kick me off of my page for this, but I'm going to go ahead and say what I want to say, because I've been trying to get my computer up to where I can have live conversations and invite you all on. So I pretty much got that down. I just need to finalize some things. So I'm going to just go ahead and say some things now. I think that the powers that be are slowly being taken apart, and they're trying to pretty much, everybody's on their chessboard, on the world chessboard, and they're making moves on each other. Countries are fighting with each other, next door countries. America's getting roped into situations due to America's boisterous attitude from the past and always going to war and having a history of winning. Whatever America was from 1692 to, did I say that right? 1775, 1692, you know what I'm saying? Or was it 1492? My brain, I'm just not waking up. Forgive me. It'll kick to me after I get off this. However America started, it was a very violent experience for a lot of people that were already living here, i.e. more than likely my ancient ancestors. The people that did take it over, they were given respite, time to conquer as much as they could, just like playing a video game. You put the quarter in, you play until your time is up. This is what the world is like right now. And everybody's getting a drug along for the ride, whether you're in a high position, middle, or very low position. You just got to adjust to where you need to be. But if you believe in God, you keep the faith. I believe that whatever the Most High God is, will protect those that he, they, she, it deems is worthy to be protected from the danger. And I'm going to leave it alone right there. I'm not going into that, because then everybody's going to draw some kind of opinion and objective, and I don't want to deal with that. I'm only going to wait for God to answer all the questions I have in my head about the universe, about God, about the world, and what have you, whatever comes to my mind. As far as the way everything is now, I'm just going to sit back and wait, but keep researching. But that doesn't mean because I'm finding my way that's not coinciding with anybody else's way who's running the world that you should try to stop me, because you had your chance to make up all the lies you could and drag the world in one direction. And now that the truths are coming out through people like me who are being shown the way, and I really think that I was picked for that. Then there were reasons why I was picked for that. I really just didn't latch onto the hook and sinker that the world dropped on me growing up as a child. I had questions about a lot of things. And now at my age of 48, about to be 49, y'all, the truths are coming out slowly. Not fast enough for me because I'm an Aries. I have no patience with waiting, and I have mad patience, but I just want to get to conclusion of things. That's a flaw of an Aries sometimes. But I'm seeing a lot that really makes sense to what I'm looking for and what I'm seeing. And this episode getting clearly every day. And, even I've lost a lot of people as far as family and friends behind me looking up at the sky. And I've had a lot of people just downright be nasty to me that loved me when I was ignorant and not seeing what I'm seeing. But you know what? I don't man worship. I don't get caught up in the world of men, meaning I don't let what you say run through my head and get stuck there. I'm going to evaluate it if it makes sense. I'm going to roll with it. If it don't make sense, I'm not dealing with it. Even with my own self, I check myself in a very strict manner, because I don't have time for any mistakes, and as best I can. You know what I'm saying? I was a Marine. Those guys are very meticulous, and so am I, as meticulous as I can give for the time of my life until it expires. And I'm just doing the best I can to make sense of life and still maintain this life, which is very hard. And this life is being changed up, and people being punished, believe it or not, in the world. different countries are being punished, even in America. Honestly, I don't think there's no such thing as freedom. They say it's earned, but then somebody can come take it away. I've experienced that in 2022, dealing with a racist Confederate who forced himself upon me and caused me to give up, be forced off 2 days of my freedom. And he'll get his. And the people that were behind him in cahoots with him, they'll all get theirs. But, that's neither here nor there right now. It's just very irritating to see the world be diminished. And I look around now, everything that was so big to me in my youth, now starting to seem kind of very smallish because I'm outgrowing a lot of the foolishness that ran through my head. And, one thing I'm learning is that when you start outgrowing people, and I'm not being big headed, when you literally start paying attention and start outgrowing people without the arrogance, because there's no arrogance with me. If I'm outgrowing somebody, then those people will bring you down. I.e., I mentioned losing a lot of friends and family because of what they heard come out of my mouth from my evaluations. A lot of them tried to diminish me to the level of a not so intelligent person, that I was foolish, that I was crazy. I even had conversations with a good friend who's a PhD, a doctor. And them conversations didn't go too well. And I was just like, I'm kind of done with these people. They're all indoctrinated. They're stuck. Even people in my family have their degrees and they've gotten stuck in their ways, i.e. indoctrinated in the world. And I feel like Agent Smith, I'm unplugged from the world and I really mentally feel free. Aside from the physical attributes of being trapped, I don't have any habits, no drugs, no alcohol. I could live like a monk without that stuff, and I do just well. I have no interest in them. My drug is the sky, music, and creating whatever I like to create. Not on no fantasy, but on some realistic. I have 6 inventions. Whenever somebody stops playing games with me, as I'm pushing through this, because I've already had one person steal an invention name that he caught off the internet when I was naive, Philip Stoddard. He knows who he is. I've just dealt with a lot of unfair deals since I've come out of the military. But I'm going to get all that back. I've had, like I said, family members say I was on drugs because they couldn't best me in an argument. And they got their little degrees and they're going on with their little life and their little bank account. And they think they're on a high horse, but they're going to have to see me on the way down. I'm not going to mention that person's name. But that's just some of the thoughts on my mind. Not really beating a dead horse or tooting my own horn. Just like you all, I'm trying to make sense of this life, and I'm just going to keep pushing. All you all do the same. If you have habits, conquer your habits. We all have wants and needs, but conquer your habits, especially the negative habits. Indulge your positive habits and conquer your needs. Big up to Namaste. Like I said, once I get myself together, because I seem like I'm just, since my heart attack, I'm just really tired. I don't really have time to do much. When I do get downtime, I sleep enough, not a lot. And we're coming out of the winter here on the East Coast, so it's getting hot. So that means I can go exercise more outside. And that's probably why I like California a lot, because in California, I was outside a lot. But God put me here for a reason in Virginia. I'm from North Carolina. Once I get past these hurdles, then, that will be that. Big up to everybody. We'll be talking more once I get my computer going, and then we will all have a hold down chat, have some conversations, and, just kind of enjoy each other's company. We don't know what's going to happen in the world. We're all just trying to find our way without the help of those in power, and we're just trying to do it right. Right? I didn't mean to keep y'all so long. But sometimes intelligent questions require intelligent answers as best I can. Thank you, Namaste, for that. And we will all get together and talk further, all right? Third Eye Cam. We'll talk later. Poof.